amazing. Where did you come up with this idea? This is absolutely perfect. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. I know that these are things that you would like to hear from your partner. I'm Dr. Arit, and I have planned more than 440 birthdays for my husband. I'm really good at coming up with ideas that make people feel celebrated. And I know that it's something people really struggle with. So I'm here today to help you figure out how you can get somebody a present that makes them feel celebrated. Stay tuned because at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you what common mistakes are for you to avoid. A really great gift will anticipate a need or solve a problem from someone. Sometimes it's a problem or a need that they don't know that they have, but most of the time it's something that they have been communicating to you. So step one of getting someone a good present is listening. What are they saying they wish they had more of? What are they saying they wish they had less of? When they tell you, and people give you hints and clues all the time if you're looking for them, sometimes they might talk about needing time off, meaning something is stressing them out. And if you can reduce their stress, that's a wonderful way for a present. Sometimes they're saying they want more excitement or more music or to feel more pampered or to feel more glamorous. So you pay attention to these sorts of things, and that will help point the way to what might be something that is anticipating a need that they have. People really love it when you notice. And, something my husband will say is, well, it's hard to remember all of these details. So what I personally do is I take notes. So whenever I have an idea or somebody recommends something that I think my husband might like or someone that I love might like, I just Google it right away and then I just bookmark it in a tab. My folder is called Best Time of the Year because I really love my husband's birthday season. You can call it whatever you want, right? Recommendations, ideas. Come up with a code name if your partner uses your computer a lot, but something that lets you know, all right, these are ideas I'm keeping. I have one for my nieces. I have one for my siblings. And it's a really great way to just all right, this is an idea I had. I put it to the side. Then you have a running list over the course of the year. So when it's time to look for a present, you have something to start with and you're not just starting from scratch. Now, it's really important to remember that a present doesn't have to be a tangible object. You can give someone an object. You can give someone an experience. You can give someone time. You can give somebody a combination of all of those things. And it really depends on what a person is telling you they want more of or what they want less of. A lot of my patients really want is for someone in their life to make their life easier. If you're a parent, that can mean saying, I'm going to take care of bedtime and morning and lunches for the week. You go off and have fun. Or stepping in and saying, I'm going to go get groceries. Why don't you go for a walk or go watch a TV show or call your friends or do something for yourself? If people have told you that they've liked something or you've witnessed them liking something that they use a lot, you get it, but elevated. So a bunch of years ago, I got into jigsaw puzzles. I found it was a really great way to clear my mind when I was thinking about my patients. And I would get these enormous 1,000-piece things, and I had foam boards so that I could work on the puzzle anywhere in the house. And when my birthday hit, Paul, who doesn't do any form of jigsaw puzzles himself, hands me this beautiful box that smells like a forest. And what he had done is researched what are upscale puzzles. What are more unique kind of puzzles? What are new technology around jigsaw puzzles? And he got me to these 3-dimensional wooden painted puzzle pieces. Every box smelled like a forest, and the experiencing of putting them together was so beautiful. It was engaging with art that I've framed some of them. I give them now as presents. I have a library for my patients to borrow them because they're so tactile and dimensional. And it was so luxurious to get a puzzle, but elevated. It made me feel really seen and appreciated. And because he had done the extra work of researching it, he gave me something that was familiar that I liked, but that I didn't know existed. So do your research. Google, internet search, look at a bunch of reviews and see if anything's come up in more than one list. Look at an item and read some reviews. See if the kinds of things people say they like about it matches the personality of the person you're giving your present to. Another example is actually one that I am wearing today. If you're dating someone who likes jewelry and also is a gamer, uses dice, this is a great example of a niche gift that is like glasses jewelry made out of dice. Earrings, necklace, shout out to Yanir. I'm going to throw some links in the comments just to get you started for these kinds of ideas. The idea is you take something and you elevate it. My husband likes chocolate. A lot of people like chocolate. The beginning of our relationship, I would start birthday season with a jar of candy like Kit Kats and M&Ms and just standard, American candies. And I would call it the jar of abundance, and I would refill it for the whole time we were celebrating birthdays. And it was really, really fun. As time went on, I was going to elevate it. So I did some research and I decided to look for artisanal chocolatiers that are award winning, that come up with these beautiful chocolates that look like jewels and have these tastes that every bite is like fine dining, but condensed into one bite of chocolate. And it's really, really fun. Every year I pick different ones, and I've expanded this to different kinds of candies. And I try to get a little bit more for our friends and family to share. And then I write down the favorites, and then I keep track of what his favorites are. Favorites of the past few years has been Christopher Elbow. I'll put that in the link too. I'm going to put some of our favorite finds in the link just to get you started, to give you an idea. If he really loved chocolate, I probably would have got him a subscription box. One of those chocolate, they send you like a mysterious box every so often. And so this is where you want to pay attention. Does the person like milk chocolate or dark chocolate? Do they like white chocolate? Are they vegan? Do they have any allergies? Paying attention means the present you're going to get them will be tailored for them. And again, if you can't remember, take a notes, make a little notes file for yourself and just be like, oh, doesn't like this. Like, I'm not a fan of peanut butter. It's my husband's favorite food. I make sure to get him peanut butter chocolates, but elevated, right? That's kind of the idea. Okay, so to recap, you're going to pay attention to what a person is telling you they need more or less of, and you're going to use that to point you in the direction of something they might like. Then you're going to pay attention to what do they use a lot of that could be elevated. Could you get them a nicer, plusher, luxer version of it? Now, if someone is telling you this is my favorite thing in the world, don't try to improve that, right? Don't take somebody's favorite coffee mug that they love and then get them a nicer one, because that's going to also make them feel not seen. So you're picking something that they like, they're excited about, but they don't even know a better possibility is out there. So am I going to get them an object or an experience, or give them time, or take something off their plate? Think about how you want to present it to them in a way that's really fun. And again, it has to really fit the personality of the person you're giving things to. What kind of surprises do they like? Do they even like surprises? If you love surprises, but the person you're with hates surprises, don't surprise them. It's not your birthday, it's their birthday, right? What you can do is get them things that are not surprises and then add a little bit of a surprise to have a combination. But really listen and honor what the people are telling you. A lot of times my patients feel just really frustrated because they'll say, I don't like this, I like this, and their partners don't seem to pay attention at all. So then when they get a present, they feel worse because now it's like evidence the person is not paying attention to them. So I'll give you an example of a birthday activity that we did where I bought my husband flowers, because men can get flowers too. But I didn't just buy him flowers. I bought him flowers, and I found a documentary about Ikebana, the ancient Japanese art of flower arranging. And I ordered Ikebana scissors and the little frog. It's like the thing that you to hold the flowers in. And I bought some of the like accoutrement, a pretty base, and I got some of the stuff on Amazon, which is, I'm going to link to Amazon knowing that for many people, Amazon is problematic. So I didn't just show him the documentary. I got the flowers, I showed him the documentary, and then we had a let's make our own Ikebana flower arrangements. And it was just so lovely. We had a couple of hours where we remembered the principles that the video had taught us, and we got our little scissors out, and we each made an arrangement that fit our styles. My husband is much more of a minimalist. His was really focused on elegance and balance, and I'm clearly a maximalist, and I try to make mine like a color burst. And then for 2 weeks, we had these gorgeous flower arrangements that we had made that combined all these different aspects to heighten the birthday experience. And it was much, much cheaper than when we spent money for a full flower bouquet, because I could get fewer flowers and targeted flowers and combine, a few cheaper flowers from Trader Joe's and a few more expensive flowers from the local florist that we like to support. So there's an example of how you can buy something and then enhance it. I have a patient who loves to cook. She's really difficult to buy presents for. And I said to her, if I were buying you a present, I would go and look at spices from all over the world. We can now order things from everywhere. What's a spice that's hard to reach and have here that's really, really delicious that you don't have a sense for? I would probably do A variety pack. Give somebody an introduction to an elevated thing, right? There's an olive oil store that I love, and they have all of these really cool olive oil flavors for someone who likes to cook, getting them a little starter sample so that they then can figure out what do I like or not like. I've done this with maple syrup. I've done this. You can get this with vinegars. You can get this with olive oil. You can get this with alcohol. You can get this with, oh, I'm totally blanking out on. But that's what makes variety packs really, really fun. And when I go to a place online to look for things, I like to do a starter pack and then one item that shows me a variety pack plus one, right? Here is like a basic thing for everybody. And here's something to let you know that I pay attention to your tastes specifically. So like with the chocolate, I'll get a variety pack plus peanut butter truffles because Paul loves peanut butter. You can see how you can take an idea and then you build off of it. Do a little bit of research. Literally do an internet search with the thing your person likes and elevated or reviews or best of and start to get ideas. When someone tells me about a cool new idea or an experience they had that I've never heard of, I open up a tab and then bookmark it later so that I have a running list so I don't have to do all of this at once. Book, movie recommendations, music recommendations, and it's really easy. You just make a folder and bookmark it. You're not like writing anything down, you're just going to it. Sometimes I will literally bookmark the search, meaning I don't have time to find the thing. So I just type in the search, hit enter, and then click bookmark. So the next time I'm going through the list, I can click out on that. As you can tell, I get really, really excited. And there's like simpler versions and more advanced versions. When you're starting off, go a little bit simpler. Pick something that you feel like you know something about and it doesn't overwhelm you or scare you. And over the years, if you stay together with your partner, which, not for nothing, good presence really helps solidify a connection because it's not about the money, it's about the time that you put into thinking about what the person needs. The people that I've known that are the pickiest about presents don't care about the money that's spent. They care about the quality of the thought behind it. Did they pay attention to me? Like, do you know your partner's favorite color or favorite color scheme? Do you know the colors that they don't even like? Like, don't get me anything that's beige. That's a pretty good rule of thumb. If it's beige, I'm going to have kind of a negative reaction to it. On some people, beige is stunning. Go for it. So, another idea is to take a present and add it to a class. So, for example, someone likes to cook. Do they have a favorite chef? Are there favorite YouTube channels that they follow? Are there favorite TikTok content creators? Are there favorite restaurants? If you know what they like to eat, go and do some searches of the chefs that they like. What books have they written? What restaurants do they recommend? Do they have a best of list? You know that chef you liked? Well, I read his blog and I looked at his posts, and this is a place he recommended. This is a place she loves. That's where we're going for dinner. You've already made that connection, that invitation, one of I know you, I'm listening to you, and we're going to do something you really, really like. It's kind of like an adventure that you're treasure hunting, you know? I know my husband and I have some favorite authors, and whenever it's birthday time, I always check to see, have they published anything new? Is there something coming out in hardback? Are they having any book signings, right? Taking and elevating it. If I can give you a book and take you to a book signing, right? But obviously you also have to know the person. If you're dating somebody who's agoraphobic or socially anxious, don't take them somewhere in public that's overwhelming. Pick something that's more private. And it's a lot of factors to balance, but what happens is while you're thinking about the present, you're thinking about your partner, meaning you're getting to know them more. And that also builds intimacy. And that is more than the money that the present costs. My relationship is constantly giving me emotional dividends. So the time that you spent on a present also will bring you closer and closer together. Other ideas, classes. Let's say somebody likes cooking. Look up a local cooking store. Go and ask what are currently popular items or what are new contraptions. Like I have a KitchenAid. What if, for a present for me, you could get me a pasta attachment and then a class where they teach me how to use it or what I can do with pasta. Now, it's complicated. I'm gluten-free and I have a lot of eating limitations. So my husband couldn't actually sign up for a class, but he could maybe get a tutor or let's watch a video together. I'm going to pre-screen some YouTube videos and then we'll watch one together. It's really, really romantic. When somebody is like, I'm going to make an experience for you, you know? I've had some patients come up with amazing ideas for their partners, like high tea at the Boston Library or going to movie night at the art museum, taking your partner shopping to their favorite place. You could even do like, here's a budget. We're going to go to your favorite clothing store and I'm going to give you opinions. You know, a lot of in traditional gendered stereotypes, if a woman likes shopping, a lot of times a man doesn't, or it can be flipped. We have a system. Paul comes to the store, he reads, and then I say, I want an opinion. And then he gives me an aesthetic opinion. And his opinions have gotten better over time. Now, he's also watched a lot of fashion TV with me because he knows it's an interest of mine. So a lot of times these presents build on shared experiences. Presents are also really great if they build on inside language or inside jokes or times when you both had a really significant emotional experience. One of my friends got me a mug that I love, and she just took pictures from at that point, it was, I think, 15 years of friendship. And I can't do math. It was 23 years of friendship. Wow. And it was pictures of us. And it was just so lovely. And the mug was beautiful and the size of the handle was thoughtful. It fit my very swollen hands. And so all of those details made me think this present is for me. A lot of times people don't like getting a generic gift that you could have gotten everybody. I hate going to the store on Valentine's Day because it is so depressing to see mostly men wandering around with a blank panic look of, is this okay? Is this enough? And it doesn't feel personalized. It feels like just like, oh, look, I remembered. And a lot of times what people want is, I remembered what you said you liked. I remember what you said you wanted. So that's kind of a place to get you started. So now I'm going to talk about common pitfalls when it comes to getting people presents. And I see this with my patients, and it's very stressful for both people involved because the person giving the present can feel excited or bad or ashamed, and the person getting the present can feel a lot of pressure to like the present and then can feel sometimes bad or disappointed or alone when they don't like what they've been given, especially if it's part of a pattern. And you might think that this is something that is a problem only for new couples. And a lot of the times that people get really upset by presents, they've actually been together for a really long time, more than 10 years. And then people feel like, well, it's been 10 years. Why don't you know me well enough to do something for my birthday that makes me feel known and that makes me feel celebrated? So one of the first mistakes people make is they get confused by what they would like to receive versus what their partner would like. So let's say something like concert tickets. That's a really fun idea if it's a band you love. If it's a band that your partner doesn't love quite as much, it's less fun. If somebody is very introverted and you're extroverted, don't throw them a party. That's something that you would like to do. Think about what they need in order to feel happy and cozy and safe and connected to you. Now I'm going to talk about a common pitfall that I've never heard anyone else really talk about. And that is, what is your fantasy of giving a present? When you were younger, did you fantasize about giving someone jewelry or a back massage or buying them something lavish? Did you have this image in your mind of one day I'll get to give somebody something that will make them feel swoony and romantic? So let's say you've always wanted to give somebody jewelry and your partner doesn't wear jewelry or doesn't like jewelry or is really, really picky. You giving them jewelry might make you feel like you're fulfilling a fantasy, but they're going to feel misunderstood and not listened to. So what I suggest for that is if you have a need to give them something, don't use their birthday week. Pick a different time of the year where you say, okay, I'm going to give you something that's for you, but it's actually for me. I want to be able to give you this. This is what we're going to do. But for their birthday, you make it about them, what they actually want. So take a moment and think about when you were little or when you were an adolescent or when you would see movies about romance, or maybe you saw your parents, maybe your dad always gave your mom a sweater or some jewelry or something, and you thought, oh, when I grow up, I'll get to do that someday for somebody. That having an awareness will make you be able to be a little more strategic about it and think about when can I do it that's more appropriate, and Is that why I'm committed to giving my partner something that they don't actually want? Take a moment to think about that. The last one I want to talk about is if you're going to get your partner clothing or jewelry or accessories, to actually stop and think about, have you ever seen them wear something like that at least 3 times? Not like once because they were doing an experiment, but is this something that you could imagine them actually wearing? If you're not sure, ask one of their friends, ask somebody else who knows them pretty well, who has a sense for these things. Because if somebody gives you a present that's so far away from your normal tastes, you wonder, have they been looking at me? Have they been paying attention to what I'm wearing? Or did they just see something that they liked and they didn't think about me at all? Another complicating factor when you're buying clothing for people is that if somebody has a more normative body size or shape, then getting them something might be easier. My other patients who are really tall especially, or shorter, like anyone that's under 5'2", people who have a body proportion that isn't normative, if you have like really narrow waist or your breasts are really big or whatever your body shape is, having a partner try to get you something that doesn't fit feels worse. If you're partnered with somebody who has no physical insecurities and they don't care if you buy them something and it looks funny, okay, they might be okay with that. But since I've been treating women since 2004, I have had 3 women come through my office with a positive body image to start. So statistically speaking, you're dating somebody who has more physical insecurities, and don't make them feel worse by having to say, this fits me funny. Fabric, stretch, there's a lot of factors that go into it. And so maybe clothing isn't the way to do it. This may seem like a lot of guesswork. So 2 points I want to leave you with. 1, you can talk about this with your partner. You can ask your partner, what kind of gifts do you like getting? What kind of experiences do you like having? What kind of, things can I do that will make you feel better? Because if you're going to be with somebody for the long run, you have every year to improve. Paul didn't start out knowing how to get me amazing gifts. He didn't start off knowing, oh, I can take this thing that she's using and then elevate it and make it better and better. We had to discover that along the way. I used to get really upset on my birthday and be like, but I just want you to clean. And by clean, I mean I want you to clear off the living room floor and vacuum and do all these things so there's a space of lack of clutter for my birthday. And he didn't know that that's literally one of the things that I wanted every year. And it took a while for him to figure out what my rhythms were and for me to be able to communicate what I actually wanted from him and to just to give him patience to experiment. And it's a long-term strategy that has like really paid off. I didn't learn how to elevate. I didn't learn how to go find a fancy version of something. And when we started dating, I didn't have the money for it. That's why I like to build a model that is adaptable over time. Money, just as a side note, when we started doing birthday season, I didn't have very much money at all. And we were watching a lot of Korean television. And instead of spending money on expensive products, I literally learned how to make a dakji, this like folded paper toy that they would use, not really a toy, it's like an origami flipping thing. And it's really hard. And I watched some tutorials and I made it. And we played for hours and it was hilarious. I taught myself the alphabet and made him like a sign in Korean that was based on one of the characters we were watching. These were very cheap presents that I also had to like learn how to get better at it. So I gave myself time and it was adaptable to our budget. So what I'm suggesting is that you give yourself time every year to get better and better at this. And you can collaborate. You can afterwards, if you go up to your partner after their birthday and say, hey, to what degree did that feel like a good birthday? Did you feel celebrated? And in what ways did you feel like I kind of missed it and maybe you felt a little bit hurt or a little bit disappointed? Was there something that you hinted at that I missed? I want to know so that next year I don't miss it. And if you go to them, they don't have to carry that weight and you're making it a better experience for them. When Paul and I started dating, I had no idea that we were going to be this celebratory with each other. I think it would have been incomprehensible. But people can learn, right? You can ask each other, hey, what's your favorite? Or can I guess? Right? We would go places and I would say, do you like that shirt? Or do you like that print? Or do you like this piece of art? And we actively learned each other's tastes over time. You can do this with scents and flavors and foods. If you just stop and ask your partner what they like and what they don't like, you can learn a lot of this. And that's one of the things that makes me love present giving so much is that you're actually learning how to love each other better. It's not about the money you spend. It's about attuning and figuring out what else makes my person happy, what makes them feel pampered, what makes them feel seen, what makes them feel celebrated. And it's that celebration that you're really going for. And then it does become an act of love. It's why my actual dream job would be to be a fairy godmother. I would love to be able to magically go around to people and be like, here's a specific thing that is totally tailored to you that would make you super, super happy. So take that with you as you are figuring out how to do presence well. And you can see where it goes. You might find yourself surprised by what you find with a little bit of research and attention and creativity. I hope that this has been helpful. In the comments, please leave either a site where you love getting presents, a really wonderful present you got and how it made you feel and what made you feel loved about it, or questions that you have. Because this is a part of life that television would have you believe is about a lot of money and grand gestures, but it's actually about those small moments of paying attention to the person you love. Good luck, and I can't wait to see and hear what you come up with. I'm Dr. Arit, and this is Emotional Billionaire. Bye-bye.